Once upon a time, in the far north woods, a hunter captured a great white bear. It was an unusual bear. Not only was it the largest bear the hunter had ever encountered, but it was gentle and so tame that the hunter decided to present it to the king as a gift. And so the hunter set off, leading the bear with a rope. Today is the third Sunday in Ordinary Time. The readings today lead us to a contemplation on our unity with Christ and with each other. We begin in the first reading. The prophet Isaiah foresees the regions conquered by the Assyrians, Zebulun and Naphtali, now inhabited by Gentiles, being restored to the kingdom of Israel. Isaiah tells us of a great light which will lead them to repentance, conversion, and reconciliation, reuniting them to the community of God. Now, as the hunter and the bear traveled, it began to snow. And the storm became so fierce that the hunter decided to seek shelter at a farmhouse. He knocked, and the farmer opened the door. The hunter explained that he and the bear were almost frozen and asked if they could stay in the house until the storm passed. The farmer was willing, but warned the hunter that each year, on this night, a band of trolls broke into the house, demanding to be fed. Every year, the farmer and his wife prepared food for them for days, hoping that they would not be harmed or their house destroyed by the evil trolls. Still, the hunter persisted, so the farmer agreed. The bear crawled under the kitchen table and went to sleep. And the hunter made a pallet by the fire, and soon he too was sleeping. In the second reading, Paul is writing to the church in Corinth. It seems that divisions arose in the community, and members associated themselves with various people who had instructed them, identifying themselves as belonging to Paul or to Apollos or to Peter. And they began to disagree about the good news of Christ. And as a result, their common purpose suffered, and the unity of the community suffered. Paul redirects their attention to Christ as the true leader and the force that unites them all. Back at the farm, everything was quiet, but it didn't stay that way. At midnight, there was a loud knocking at the door, and many voices shouting that the door be open. Then the door burst open, and through the blowing snow came the ugly, ugly trolls. They began to open the cupboards and broke into the pantry, pulling out the food that the farmer and his wife had prepared. And they turned chairs over, and they caused an enormous racket, and chaos seemed to be everywhere. In the middle of the commotion, a small troll called to the other trolls to come and see the kitty cat that he had found. The trolls stopped what they were doing and gathered around the table. And then, being the mean little troll that he was, he found a stick and he poked the sleeping bear in the nose. In the gospel today, Jesus hears of the imprisonment of his cousin John. He decides to leave Nazareth for the regions of Zebulun and Naphtali, where we recall Isaiah prophesied that a great light would arise. And Jesus begins to proclaim the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, meaning that the Messiah has indeed arrived. The gospel then switches scenes, and we now see Jesus beginning to gather the people who would carry his great light to everyone. Peter, Andrew, James, and John are the first. They follow Jesus without question as Jesus begins bringing the light into the world, which will change everything. The mean little troll shouldn't have poked the bear. With a thunderous roar, the bear exploded from under the table. The mean little troll was thrown through a window. The other trolls panicked at the sight of the bear and scrambled over each other, trying to get out of the door. In a few seconds, it was over. The trolls were gone. The farmer and his wife were safe. And the bear and the hunter slept quietly for the remainder of the night. In the morning, the snow stopped. The sun came out. The hunter and the bear shared breakfast with the farmer and his wife from the food that the trolls had left. Then they continued their journey to see the king. And the trolls never returned to the farmer's house. So what do trolls, hunters, farmers, and bears have to do with unity in today's readings? It's really quite simple. Like the farmer and his wife, we all encounter trolls in our lifetime. They are not ugly little creatures, but are things that challenge us. They might be laziness or misguided appetites, family conflicts, poor relationships. They are the things that separate us from the unifying light that Jesus offers. They seem to come again and again to plague us, often leaving us feeling hopeless and isolated. And then, like the hunter, Jesus brings his great light. This great white light illuminates our lives and our souls, offering unity with Christ for all who pursue it. The trolls did not understand the power and the size of the bear that they chose to confront. Our own trolls fail to understand the power of the light that we follow. And just as the bear overcame and dispersed the trolls in the farmhouse, we can overcome and disperse the trolls that plague us by using the light that Christ provides. We are called to live the truth of our light loudly, like the roar of the bear, using the light of Christ to scatter the trolls, bringing peace and unity to our families, our communities, and ourselves. In this, we can all travel to see the King, Jesus Christ, bringing him the gift of our lives, unified to his gift of light.